Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, this week we are going to discuss and continue our study on regionalism. Regionalism exists between 1865 until 1915. And then, what is regionalism? Regionalism was a literary movement in which authors would write a story about specific geographical areas. Jadi, yang dimaksud dengan regionalism itu adalah di mana sebuah karya di mana penulisnya itu akan menulis sebuah kisah tentang area geografis yang spesifik. By writing about regions, the authors explore the cultures of that era, including its languages, customs, beliefs, and history. Nah, apa saja yang ada di dalamnya? Ya, itu penulis itu mencantumkan budaya, bahasa, kebiasaan, kepercayaan, dan juga sejarahnya. Not only did the writers in this time try to show the region they wrote about their readers, but they also made an attempt at a sophisticated sociological or anthropological treatment of the culture of the region. Oke, nah siapa saja penulis-penulisnya? Di antaranya ada Willa Carter. Okay. Carter has been called one of the most interesting female writers in American literary history. Beliau itu salah satu dari penulis wanita yang cukup menarik atau yang sangat menarik di sejarah kesusastraan Amerika. She was a teacher, yaitu seorang guru, a journalist and a critic as well as a writer. Seorang kritikus, seorang wartawan juga, dan juga sebagai seorang penulis. She has a talent for presenting settings and characters that are rich in language and imagery. She also won a Pulitzer Prize. Dia itu sebagai salah satu peraih penghargaan Pulitzer. Some of her work include April Twilights, published in 1903, and of Pioneers, published in 1913. And then the other one is William Faulkner. Who is William Faulkner? He is very famous ya, dia itu sangat terkenal Faulkner ini. He served in both the Canadian and British Royal Air Force. He wrote most of his novel on a farm in Oxford, Mississippi. Some of his novels include The Hamlet. The Hamlet ini yang ditulis oleh William Faulkner ya, bukan Hamlet yang ditulis oleh Shakespeare. Which was published in 1940, and The Town published in 1957, and The Mansion published in 1959. Itu juga menulis tentang regionalism. And then we have Kate Chopin. Chopin loved literature as a child and has scheduled and secluded herself in it after her grandmother's death. She never achieved much until 1884 when she finally decided to pursue a career in writing. Jadi mulai 1884 dia mulai serius dalam penulisannya. Some of her writing include Desire's Baby, published in 1893, The Awakening, which was published in 1899. And then the next one is Frank Norris. Norris studied in Paris at the University of California and Harvard. He also spent several years as a war correspondent in South Africa and Cuba. Some of his work include The Responsibilities of the Novelist, which was published in 1903, and The Octopus, published in 1901, and The Pit, published in 1903. Okay. And then the next one, so after regionalism, the movement changed into modernism. Jadi setelah regionalism, yang mana karakteristik penulisannya adalah banyak mengeksplor tentang tempat yang spesifik, gerakan yang selanjutnya yang muncul adalah gerakan modernisme, yaitu terjadi sekitaran 1915 sampai 1946. Nah, dalam era modernisme ini itu berkaitan atau berbarengan dengan apa yang disebut sebagai Perang Dunia II sampai dengan Perang Dunia I dan Perang Dunia Kedua. This type of writing is one of the most experimental types. Jadi jenis atau tipe penulisannya itu tipe penulisan yang eksperimental, yang belum ada sebelumnya gitu ya, yang mencoba untuk keluar dari aturan-aturan yang sudah ada. Modernist author use fragment, stream of consciousness, and interior dialogue. Jadi di sini mulai ada orang berbicara sendiri di dalam hati gitu ya, dan lain sebagainya. The main thing that authors were trying to achieve with modernism was unique style. One of that they could stand out and be known for uniqueness. During this period, technology was taking incredible leaps. There were also two world wars and destruction on a global scale. The younger generation began to take over the main stage. Penulis-penulisnya cukup banyak ya. Ada Ernest Hemingway. Beliau itu salah satu penulis favorit saya. Ernest Hemingway itu penulis yang cukup keren, yang sangat keren bagi saya gitu ya. Salah satu karyanya adalah The Old Man and the Sea. Orang Tua dan Laut. Kalian coba menonton atau bukan menonton ya, membaca karyanya. Terjemahannya juga cukup banyak ya, bisa kalian dapatkan di Indonesia. Hemingway won a Pulitzer Prize and Nobel Peace Prize for Literature. He used concise, direct, spare, objective, precise, rhythmic writing styles to create larger-than-life heroes, big game hunters, etc. Some of his work include The Sun Also Rises. The Sun Also Rises, mungkin kalian cukup familiar dengan kata ini, The Sun Also Rises. Itu adalah karya Ernest Hemingway. Kemudian A Farewell to Arms, For Whom the Bell Tolls, published in 1940. Kemudian ada juga The Old Man and the Sea. Kemudian Kilimanjaro. Banyak lagi ya karya-karyanya. Saya sudah membaca cukup banyak dari karyanya Ernest Hemingway. Anda bisa coba. Kemudian ada Scott Fitzgerald. Ini juga menuliskan karya yang cukup fenomenal atau yang sangat terkenal sekali. Fitzgerald wrote about the times in his novel The Great Gatsby. Sudah difilmkan ya The Great Gatsby ini ya, novelnya juga kalian bisa baca. Published in 1925, he wrote about the Roaring Twenties, a time when no one cared about the future and they had fun with what they had done. Some of his other works include The Side of Paradise, and then The Beautiful and the Damned. Oke, itu karyanya Scott Fitzgerald. Kemudian ada John Steinbeck. Steinbeck wrote about the both pains and joys of life. The Grapes of Wrath. Published in 1939, his most well-known work told the history of families trying to survive and stay together during the Depression. In other works, like Tortilla Flat, published in 1935, Steinbeck wrote about the joys of life. Some of his other works include East of Eden, and then Of Mice and Men, which was published in 1937, and The Pearl, published in 1947. And then we have Robert Frost. Ini merupakan penulis puisi atau penyair yang sangat terkenal di kalangan sarjana sastra Inggris ya. Kalau kalian pernah mendengar kata atau istilah The Road Not Taken, ini merupakan judul puisinya Robert Frost. America's best known and most loved poet, Frost wrote his poems in traditional verse form. He used the plain speech of the rural New Englanders. Some of his work include Death of the Hired Man, and then Breaches, which was published in 1920, and The Road Not Taken, published in 1920. Okay. I think that's all for today's video. I hope you could do and explore more about modernism and also regionalism. Don't forget to give comment in your web kuliah. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.